What if I told you that the person you thought you knew best, the one who taught you how to ride a bike and help with your homework, was living a double life? Imagine finding out your quiet, unassuming father, the guy who worked a 9 to 5 and coached Little League, was once one of the most wanted figures in the digital underground. This isn't a movie plot. For a young filmmaker named Alex, it became a shocking reality unearthed from a dusty box in a suburban attic, revealing a past that would rewrite everything they thought they knew about their family and about the secret history of the internet itself. It all started in a quiet tree-lined suburb of Portland, Oregon. Alex's father, David, was the picture of an average American dad. He ran a small IT support business from their home, fixing printers and removing viruses for local businesses. He was mild-mannered, wore comfortable sweaters, and his idea of a wild night was finishing a crossword puzzle. After David passed away from a sudden heart attack, Alex was left to sort through a lifetime of memories packed into their childhood home. The house was filled with the ordinary artifacts of a life well lived: photo albums, stacks of National Geographic, and a collection of vinyl records. Alex, a documentary filmmaker, decided to create a small tribute film, a personal project to honor their father's simple, quiet life. But in the corner of the dusty attic, tucked away behind old Christmas decorations, was a faded cardboard box labeled college stuff. It seemed innocuous, just another box of memories. Little did Alex know, opening it would be like pulling a pin on a grenade. Inside the box, beneath old yearbooks and a varsity letterman jacket from the University of California, Berkeley, class of '88, Alex found something that didn't belong. It was a stack of floppy disks, the old 5.25-inch kind, held together with a brittle rubber band. Taped to the top disk was a small, yellowed sticky note. On it, 2 words were scrawled in their father's familiar handwriting: "The Labyrinth, Alex." Curious, felt a jolt of excitement. Maybe this was a video game their dad had designed in college? A creative writing project? They managed to find an old external floppy disk drive on eBay, a relic from a bygone era. After a few tries, the drive whirred to life. The disk contained a single heavily encrypted file. Using some basic decryption software, Alex managed to unlock the first layer. It wasn't a game. It was a digital journal, a manifesto. The first line read, "The system is a lie. Information doesn't want to be expensive. It wants to be free. And we're the ones to free it." The author signed off not with the name David, but with a handle: Daedalus. Alex was stunned. The writing style was passionate, revolutionary, and completely alien to the quiet man who raised them. They took the disks to a cybersecurity expert, a friend from college named Chloe. Chloe ran the files through more advanced decryption protocols. As layers of code were peeled back, a hidden world emerged. These weren't just journals. They were logs, chat transcripts, and fragments of code from the earliest days of the internet. They detailed the activities of a legendary, almost mythical group of early hackers from the 1980s known as the Labyrinth. This group was famous in niche online circles for being digital ghosts. They were credited with some of the most audacious cyber intrusions of the Cold War era, breaking into government networks and corporate mainframes, not for profit, but for principle. They believed in the free flow of information, a philosophy they called the thread. Their leader, the mastermind who planned every operation, was known only by the coding name Daedalus. David, Alex's dad, wasn't just a member. He was the group's enigmatic founder. As Alex and Chloe dug deeper, the story became more complex and dangerous. They contacted a retired FBI agent who had worked on one of the earliest cybercrime task forces. The agent, speaking off the record, remembered the name The Labyrinth. He described them as digital phantoms who were decades ahead of their time. The Bureau had spent years and millions of dollars trying to track them, but they never could. They were too good, too disciplined, but the agent offered a chilling perspective. He didn't believe they were just idealistic kids. He floated the theory that the Labyrinth wasn't a grassroots movement, but a state-sponsored proxy group, possibly used by one intelligence agency against another during the final, tense years of the Cold War. Their hacktivism could have been a cover for espionage. Another theory, whispered about on obscure message boards Alex uncovered, suggested something else entirely. It claimed the Labyrinth hadn't just breached government networks. They had stumbled upon something they weren't supposed to see. Not state secrets, but something bigger, a secret that was being protected at all costs. This theory pointed to the group's sudden and complete disappearance in the early 90s. They didn't get caught, they simply vanished all at once. The final disk was the most heavily encrypted. It took Chloe weeks to crack. When she finally broke through, Alex's blood ran cold. It wasn't a journal entry. It was a single audio file, dated just a few months before Alex was born. The voice was younger, but it was unmistakably their father's. It was a frantic, whispered message, a final log entry. "They found us," David's voice crackled, full of panic. "It's not the feds, it's them. The ones who built the maze. We followed the thread too far. This whole system, this whole network, it's not what we think it is, it's a cage. And they're the keepers." He mentioned something about needing a firewall for reality and that he had to disappear, to become someone else, to protect his family. The recording ended abruptly with the sound of a door being smashed open and the line going dead. Alex's father hadn't just retired from hacking. He had run for his life, adopting a new identity and living in quiet fear for 30 years. The man Alex knew was a character, a mask worn to hide from a threat that was still out there. The quiet life, the IT business, the suburban home, it was all the perfect camouflage. The cause of his death, a heart attack, was suddenly cast in a sinister new light. Was it natural? Or, after all these years, had his past finally caught up to him? The files end there. There are no answers, only more questions. Who are the keepers he was talking about? Was the labyrinth a pawn in a government game? Or did they truly uncover a conspiracy that transcends global politics? And is Alex, by uncovering this story, now in the same danger? So I have to ask you, do you think David was just a paranoid programmer caught in a Cold War intelligence trap? Or did he and the labyrinth stumble upon a secret so profound that it's been actively suppressed for decades? Let me know what you believe in the comments below. And if you enjoy unraveling mysteries like this, make sure to follow for more stories from the shadows. Thanks for watching.